Hey, coaches, welcome back to the Coach Steve Show. Before I get going, you can find this on the Coach Steve Show YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. The audio version can be found on Spotify, Apple, Google, Pandora, Stitcher, iHeart, wherever you listen to podcasts. The Coach Steve Show can be found there. Video version, YouTube, the Coach Steve Show on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, share out. If you've never been here before, it's a YouTube channel and a podcast for everything in sports. We have sports recap. We have football coaches on here talking. We have Marvel recaps. Anything and everywhere you can think about to find anything can be found here on the Coach Steve Show. So please like, subscribe, share out. Please leave a nice review. If you don't like it, please just pretend it never happened. Thank you guys so much out there that have listened. Today, we are going to continue my simple offense or my simple football, whatever it's going to be right now. It's simple offense. We are continuing. Today, we are going to talk about inside zone, everybody's favorite place. So today we're going to do inside zone. Inside zone is usually what you see from quote unquote spread teams, teams in shotgun. You're starting to even see under center teams, flex bone teams, some type of zone dive, anything like that. And of course, we've talked about what gap schemes are. We talked about power. That's your main gap scheme. So the main zone one is literally inside zone. It is a zone run play where we are responsible for areas, not necessarily people. It depends how you run it. So today we're going to talk about the original way to run inside zone, and then a variation off of inside zone. We're going to look at it in a even man front and an over and under defense, on how to run inside zone, why you probably need to run it, and what you could do off of it we'll do later. But we are going to discuss inside zone. Inside zone, again, you're responsible for an area. You can learn how to pass people off. That's more of wide zone. In gap schemes, you're more responsible for gaps. You're more responsible for people. In zone, you're more responsible for, okay, what's the area? And then you have to make sure you give your running back a certain land point. And inside zone is really made for cutbacks. It's one of the, it's taken the world by storm. People have run it for a long time. High schoolers have been running it. It's one of my, if not my favorite run play to put in because there's so much stuff you can do off of it. So let's get right into inside zone on our simple offense. So like we said, inside zone, you're responsible for an area. Right now, we're going to go out of a 2x2. To some people, again, we've said this before, is spread right. This could be an air raid terminology. This is ace. However you want to define and label your formations. So I'm just going to say this is ace or spread right or doubles. So for me, I'm going to just go off and say spread right. That's what it's been the past couple of years at schools I've been at. So inside zone, when you first hear inside zone, you're responsible for an area. This is a run play, I think, if you're thinking about installing it, that you kind of need to have it be one of the top ones that you pick, depending on how you run it. So the way I'm going to draw it up and the way a lot of people run it, this one, I think you have to be one of your day one, whatever you're installing, this has got to be up there. And I think it has to be something that you plan on running. And it's got to be something that you're probably going to use for RPOs and maybe some play action stuff, because this does, if you run it this way, in my opinion, for offensive linemen, takes a lot of reps. I'm not saying offensive linemen are dumb. They're probably the smartest players on the field. It just takes a lot of reps, because if you're working on blocking an area rather than a gap or an actual person, it takes a lot of reps with all the defensive fronts you can see. Inside zone is meant to run inside. That's the premise of inside zone. But we are looking at, when you run it this way, looking at cutbacks for the running backs. So now you have to give running backs landmarks. So a lot of times you'll hear inside zone. If you give it a number, you can give it 0 and 1, 0 going to the right, 1 going to the left. You can even call it 14 or whatever, just to give them a place to go. But your landmark is usually the center. And then running backs have to rep it this way, because it depends on who you are. You can run it where, okay, the center is the aiming point. Okay, you're looking there, and then you're looking at the helmet. So if you see his helmet go to the right, you can look to come back to the if it's on the right side of the defender, you keep going that way. If it's on the left side, cut it back. You could have it be where they're reading the one tech. So when the running back gets the ball, see where the one tech is. You can have it be where the three tech is too. I've seen coaches do it either way. If you're reading a person, they have to see where they go. Wide zone is usually where they read, I believe, the five tech into the three tech. I'm not quoting that. I want to learn more about wide zone, but that's just how people do it. Inside zone, they can run inside. If it's cluttered, they run. It could be the bang it and then bend it back and all those rules. So it takes a lot of reps with running backs, setting up cones, setting up landmarks, bags to move them to see where the offensive guy's helmet is. However you want them to read it, it's all universal. It's all whatever you're comfortable with and whatever your kids can get picked up. Offensive lineman's sake. This way, you have to rep it to make sure that linemen don't go laterally. This one, we want to pick our foot up, put it back down, drive other leg, and we're aiming for one of their numbers. And if we can, we're looking to get our other leg inside their crotch and drive and try to get them up the field, or if they're coming out, to kick them out. But we have to understand where they're going and what's happening in this play. So right here, if we call 0, we call 10, 20, it doesn't matter. You call 22, we're going to do inside zone to the right, whatever you want to call it. Lineman-wise sake, for the sake of this. So right now, from left to right, we have a 5 tech, we have a 1 tech, we have a 3 tech, and we have another 5 tech. So now we're responsible for areas. We are telling our guys to pick your foot up, put it down, and we're trying to get up the field and push them vertically, okay, to help create cutbacks or create, if they want to go out, we kick them out to get this hole to run up. So right now with the right tackle, since we're going to the right, he's got a 5 tech. He's pretty easy. He's going to pick a foot up, put it down, scoop inside, however you want to teach it. And he is going to come inside, get his arm on the inside number and drive. Take him where he wants to go. If he cuts inside, you got to meet him. So if he wants to come to the outside, you're going to take him to the outside. We're going to the right. If you get him to base block him and get up the field, that's fine too, but essentially kind of want him to go up the field. We're trying to go vertical. If he goes outside, take him that way. Right guard's got a 3 tech, so he knows he's going to the right. So right now he knows he's going to pick his foot up, put it down, try to get inside of him and drive him. Now here's the situation. The center has this 1 tech now. We'll talk about how another way to run it this way. He's going to pick his foot up, put it down, come in up here and up the field. Now, here's where you have to practice this. If this 3 tech loops in, right guard is not going to chase him. So if this guy comes inside, our right guard knows, hey, he went inside. I'm continuing up to this Mike linebacker. The center I know is coming to help me, because the center here to help out with lineman can call uncovered because it's not play side. That 1 tech is away from him. He's going to say, I am uncovered to the right guard. So now the right guard knows if that guy shoots inside of me, I have help. I don't have to worry about it, okay? When we were doing power, we're looking at double teams. We're looking at gaps or men. But now we have areas covered, and we're getting them vertical up the field. Left guard is considered covered because he has a 1 tech or somebody to the play side. So he's picking his foot, putting it down. He's getting inside that guy and driving him forward. This is where this zone actually becomes a zone. Left tackle is considered uncovered. Nobody's to his play side. He's going to work up the field. Again, if this nose guard for some reason shot the other way, left guard knows, hey, I have another guy coming. He can pick him up. That's a long stunt. That's a long loop. It's probably not going to happen. So left tackle is going to work up the field to that backer. We are leaving this end uncovered. This is where the zone concept comes in. We're not reading this end. Quarterback is going to read this end. But for the running back's sake, we're going to have this nice mesh. Running back is aiming however you want. I usually say if it's 0 or 1, he's aiming for that side of the center. And he's looking. So once he gets there, you could say, hey, you're looking at the first defender. Where's he going? If he's shooting inside, probably going to cut it back. You could tell him to look at the lineman's or the center's helmet. If it's on the inside of that guy, you cut it up. If it's on the other side, you can keep going so you can you can bend it, bang it, or if he has to, continue outside. That's a drill you're going to have to do when you run it this way. Now the quarterback is reading this end. If the end crashes inside, quarterback can keep it and run. If this end comes flying up the field, he can hand it off, and now the running back does his thing. This is why it's called a zone. We are blocking areas. We are also leaving somebody usually uncovered. In my world, again, this is not universal. This is me. This is where I've been a part of. We are leaving somebody uncovered. So at times when people block everybody on the line of scrimmage, in my opinion, that is no longer a zone. You are not reading somebody on the line of scrimmage. We will get to RPO stuff later as to why I think you should not leave the end unblocked and read something else for the quarterback. So in my world, this is what happens. You also usually have some type of pass play, whatever it is, as an RPO, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. I drew a smash concept. It doesn't matter as to what it is. It could be all slants, something pretty easy, but you want the quarterback to open up to stare at that end if that's what you're going to do if you have a running quarterback. This is what inside zone is traditionally used as. Real quick, we're going to switch the front. So now we have we're going to have a 4-tech, a 3-tech, a 1-tech, and a 4-tech. Nothing changes if you continue to run inside zone this way. It's just different technique, okay? So this right tackle, however you want to do it, do you want them to gallop inside or scoop inside and kick out? That's fine. Some people will just want to push them vertically. So for this one, you can aim for the inside of number. We're looking to get the hand in and drive him up the field wherever he wants to go. For our right tackle, still running inside zone right. The right guard, he has a guy to his inside, but that's not where the play is going. So he is stepping, getting the foot up, putting it down, galloping, however you want to do it, zone steps, choppy steps. He's coming up the field. Now, the reason why, if this end shoots inside, right tackle knows the right guard could pick him up because the right guard's going to look and say, I am uncovered. If that were to happen, the right tackle is just going to work up the field. And this is probably where when the running back is looking to, to bang it, bend it, or go outside, however terminology you want to use, this is probably what it could look like. The center is going to be covered, so he is going to go to the right and get to that 1-tech and drive him up the field. Left guard is going to say he's uncovered. So now the center knows if that nose loops inside, you guys probably get the picture, he's going to work up the field. Left tackle is considered covered because you got this 3-tech, guy in the gap, whatever you want to call. So he's going to step and drive that guy up the field. Leaving this end alone again, quarterback is going to read it. Running back has the same landmarks. Quarterback is reading the exact same read. And then sometimes you've got a bubble going on here. This is where these plays come from triple option. Quarterback can keep it. If this jack back or whoever comes flying up the field, quarterback can now sit there and throw it, pitch it, whatever you want. Something can happen pre-snap on the backside here. We can have double slants going. Could have that bubble. He keeps it, throws the bubble late to see when that backer, that speed option days. That's where a lot of the zone stuff, I don't want to say came from, that we've took the RPO stuff. We took that from that, but we'll get to another video on that later. This is how traditionally inside zone is ran. You do have to drill this a lot, but this is how we work up the field. This gives you aiming points. Usually aim for the numbers. Choppy steps, get your legs inside of them and drive them up the field. If they want to go outside, great. But it also doesn't put all this pressure on the initial blocker because you have somebody coming when you have your covered and uncovered rules when you run inside zone this way. And this is traditionally how you see college teams, NFL teams, and high school teams are usually running it this way when they install inside zone into their run game. So a lot of things are drawn against an even man front. So when you have that inside zone, how do you run it against an odd man front? If they're in a 3-4, a 3-5, a 3-3 stack, whatever it is, can you still run inside zone that way? You can. So how that adapts a little bit is you keep the similar uncovered, covered rules. So if we're running inside zone to the left and they're in a 3-3 or 3-5, whatever you use in your terminology, where we have these stacked backers, left tackle knows he's covered. He is aiming, point is here to get him up the field. Left guard is going to say he is uncovered. So now my left tackle knows if this end loops inside, which odd man front teams usually do, he knows he can pass it off. Left guard can pick up, and left guard's going to pick the foot up, put it down, and work up the field. Now, center is covered. There is a guy, we have a zero tech. This is where it changes a little bit. So we're going to the left. You've got a couple options. Do you want the center to take him by himself, or do you want to keep his landmarks? Is he still going to move to the left? So if he goes to the left, it aims for the inside number. You could call a double team here. So the right guard and the center can make some type of combo call. As stupid as it sounds, it could be peanut butter and jelly. Center could say peanut butter, and the right guard says jelly, Oreos and milk. Whatever you want to call for your double team, you could use it this way. So the right guard's going to step left, aim for the other part of the number with the center, and we get a double team up to the first backer that pops up, either this Will backer, Mike backer, whoever. We are doubling. The right tackle is not going to block the end. He is going to take his steps inside and go up the field. So most likely the center and right guard are going to go for that Will backer. Right tackle is going to try to intercept the Mike backer. Running back has his same landmarks. This is probably 11, 1, 11, 13. Doesn't matter. It's going to the left, whatever you want to call it. Aiming points to the left of the center. So now he's looking to, to bang it, to bend it, to out, whatever is open. He can cut it back. Has to continue outside, but we're looking to get inside first. That's why it's called inside zone. This one is, and then before I get ahead of myself, we're still reading the end, the exact same reads. If you want a bubble on this side, you can. I call an undercut or a key screen, whatever you want. Still have these double slants on the backside. Just a simple play, but we're worried about running the ball. We're worried about this inside zone. Now, this is a little tougher, and this is why I'm telling you, if you run inside zone this way, you need a lot of reps. Because offensive linemen, when you have one run play to the right and left, well, now it's two ways. So we just earlier ran it to a certain front. Then I ran the exact same play, and we just moved two guys. Well, that's still like you're giving them uncovered rules. They're still moving their same way, but when they start looping, it's different ways for them to think. When you see an odd man front, it has changed. The rules haven't changed, but the way it looks, so their minds are moving. Offensive linemen are very smart, so you need to rep this stuff against different ways, different looks, different stunts. So if you're going to put this in, this has to be run this way, but it can still work against this, but it's a little harder because you have different angles. You're telling your linemen to get up to the backers. So this is just the way inside zone usually works. You're seeing a lot of people do it, but this is a great run play to have guys not necessarily be responsible for guys, or your guys responsible for their guys. They're just responsible for areas. It allows the running back to either get up the field and wherever the defense shifts to get to the cutback, and you can have stuff happen on the outside. You've got a running quarterback. He's reading one person until the plays happen. Maybe he reads that second person. However you want to do it, you could have those guys block. It doesn't matter, but you have a running quarterback. He can give all the run game and adds an extra head in the box just to open up way more things in your offense. And that's it, guys. That is the traditional way to run inside zone. Just a little snippet. Again, I cannot stress enough. If that's the way you want to run inside zone, I love it. Inside zone's my play. Just make sure, for your lineman's sake and your running back aiming points and your quarterbacks, read. If you are going to do it that way, you need to practice it every single day. You have to install it immediately. If not, day one, day two, that stuff, and you got to run it every day. You're installing, it's got to be something just run every single day against different fronts. Your linemen have to have those techniques. They have to have the footwork. They have to have the vision. They have to have the hip movement, all that stuff. Just my opinion. It can be ran against every front. It just takes a lot of repetition. That is it. That is the way to run your traditional inside zone. And I showed you little snippets of RPO stuff. We'll get into all the RPO stuff later on. Be on the lookout for more ways to run inside zone. There's more than just that way in your world, in my world. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, please like, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like, subscribe. Please leave a nice review on the audio version that can be found Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, Pandora, wherever you listen to the audio version. Please do that. Check out all the other videos and audio with talks with great coaches, Marvel recaps, all that stuff. If you don't like it, just pretend like it never happened. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time at the Coaching Show Podcast.